I used to think revenge was something weak people fantasized about but never actually pursued. I was wrong, my name doesn't matter. What matters is that for 11 years I believed I was living a good life. I had a career as a senior architect, a wife named Veronica who taught 4th grade, and a beautiful home in the suburbs that we'd renovated together. We hosted dinner parties. We took vacations to the coast. We talked about starting a family. And for 11 years I had no idea I was living in a lie. It started small. Veronica began working late more frequently. School events, parent-teacher conferences, curriculum planning sessions, always something. I didn't question it. Teachers work hard. I respected her dedication, but then came the phone calls. She'd step outside to take them. It's just the principal, she'd say. Parent drama. I'd nod, go back to my blueprints and think nothing of it, until the night I heard her laughing. I was in the kitchen grabbing water when I heard it through the back door, this bright, flirtatious laugh I hadn't heard in years. Not directed at me anyway. I stood there, glass in hand, listening to her voice drop into something softer, more intimate. I know, she whispered. I wish I could too soon. I couldn't move. I just stood there as my stomach turned to ice. When she came back inside, I asked her who it was. She barely looked up from her phone. Hannah, she said, from work. She's going through a divorce. It's messy. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her, but I couldn't shake the sound of that laugh. The next morning I did something I'd never done before. I checked her phone while she was in the shower. My hands were shaking as I scrolled through her messages. Most were mundane, work stuff, group chats with her teacher friends, and then I saw a name I didn't recognize. Alex T. The messages had been deleted, all of them, but the contact was still there, and the call logs showed dozens of calls over the past 3 months. Some lasted over an hour. I confronted her that evening. Calmly, I told her I'd seen the call logs, asked her who Alex was. Her face went pale, but she recovered quickly. Alex Thornton, she said, a parent. His son is in my class. He's going through a custody battle and needed advice. Why would you delete the messages? I asked. I didn't, she said. My phone's been glitchy, you know that. It was plausible, just plausible enough, but I didn't believe her. That's when I hired the private investigator. His name was Leonard, a retired cop who ran a small firm downtown. I met him in his cramped office above a dry cleaner. He had a kind face, the sort of guy who looked like someone's grandfather. What do you need? He asked. I need to know if my wife is cheating on me, I said. The words felt alien coming out of my mouth. Leonard didn't judge, he just nodded. Give me 2 weeks. It took him 9 days. He called me on a Tuesday afternoon while I was at a job site. We need to meet, he said. Tonight. I met him at a diner on the edge of town. He slid a manila envelope across the table. My hands were trembling as I opened it. Inside were photos, dozens of them, Veronica and a man I'd never seen before. They were at a hotel, holding hands, kissing in a parking lot, entering a room together. Leaving 2 hours later, Leonard had also included video, footage from the hotel hallway. Footage from a camera he'd set up in his car, time-stamped, dated, undeniable. There's more, Leonard said quietly. I ran his inf. His name is Alex Thornton. He's not a parent at her school. He's a pharmaceutical sales rep, divorced, 2 kids, and he's been seeing your wife for at least 8 months. 8 months, not 3. 8. I felt like the floor had opened beneath me. Leonard kept talking. I can get you more if you need it, for court, but honestly, you've got everything you need here. I didn't go home that night. I checked into a motel and sat on the edge of the bed staring at the photos spread out in front of me. I kept thinking about all the nights she'd kissed me goodnight, all the times she'd told me she loved me, all the lies, and then I thought about her family. Veronica's parents, Gordon and Patricia, were good people, or so I thought. They'd welcome me into their family with open arms. Gordon was a retired electrician, a gruff but warm man who loved fishing and terrible jokes. Patricia was a librarian, soft-spoken and kind. Every year we spent Thanksgiving at their house. It was a tradition. The whole family gathered. Veronica's older brother, his wife, their 3 kids. Veronica's younger sister, who was still in college. It was loud and chaotic and full of laughter. This year Thanksgiving was 2 weeks away, and that's when the idea formed. I'm not proud of what I did next. Or maybe I am, I don't know anymore. I called Leonard back. I need you to put everything on a flash drive, I said. Photos, videos, timestamps, everything. You filing for divorce? He asked. Eventually, I said. But first, I need to make sure everyone knows the truth. Leonard was quiet for a moment. Then he said, I'll have it ready tomorrow. I didn't tell Veronica I knew. I played the role of the oblivious husband perfectly. I smiled when she came home. I asked about her day. I kissed her goodnight, and all the while I planned. Thanksgiving arrived. Veronica was in high spirits, buzzing around the kitchen that morning, prepping the dishes we'd bring to her parents' house. She kissed my cheek as I loaded the car. Love you, she said. I forced a smile. Love you too. We arrived at Gordon and Patricia's house just after noon. The place smelled like roasting turkey and cinnamon. The kids were running around the backyard. Gordon clapped me on the shoulder and handed me a beer. Good to see you, son. I felt sick. Dinner was set for 4 o'clock. The whole family gathered around the massive dining table Gordon had built himself years ago. Veronica sat beside me, her hand resting on mine. She looked so happy, so content. I excused myself after the appetizers, telling everyone I needed to grab something from the car. Gordon's living room had a massive flat-screen TV mounted on the wall. He loved showing off vacation photos on it during family gatherings. I connected the flash drive to the TV and queued up the first video. Then I walked back to the dining room. Hey, Gordon, I called out. I've got something I want to show everyone, a little presentation. Gordon grinned. What you do, make a slideshow, something like that, I said. Everyone gathered in the living room. The kids sat on the floor. Patricia settled into her armchair. Veronica stood beside me, confused but smiling. I hit play. The screen filled with a timestamp, then footage of Veronica and Alex in a hotel parking lot, kissing. The room went silent. What the hell is this? Gordon said. Veronica's face went white. Turn it off, she whispered, but I didn't. The video continued. More footage, more timestamps. Veronica and Alex entering a hotel room, leaving together, laughing. Patricia gasped. Veronica's brother stood up, his face red. What the fuck, Veronica? Veronica grabbed my arm. Stop it, please stop. But I couldn't, I wouldn't. And then Gordon made a sound, a strangled, choking noise. He clutched his chest and staggered backward. Patricia screamed. Gordon, he collapsed onto the floor. Everything after that was chaos. Someone called 911. Patricia was sobbing, cradling Gordon's head in her lap. The kids were crying. Veronica was shouting at me, her voice shrill and broken. The paramedics arrived within minutes. They worked on Gordon right there in the living room while the rest of us stood frozen, helpless. He'd had a heart attack. They stabilized him and rushed him to the hospital. Patricia rode in the ambulance. The rest of the family followed in their cars. Veronica and I stayed behind. She stood in the middle of her parents' living room, tears streaming down her face. You did this, she said. You killed him. I didn't do anything, I said quietly. You did. She lunged at me, fists pounding against my chest. I hate you, I hate you. I didn't fight back. I just stood there and let her rage wash over me. Eventually, she collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. I walked out. Gordon survived, barely. The doctors said it was a severe myocardial infarction brought on by extreme stress. He spent a week in the ICU. I filed for divorce 3 days after Thanksgiving. Veronica tried to fight it, but the evidence was overwhelming. Her family disowned her. Her brother won't speak to her. Patricia blames her for what happened to Gordon. As for me, I moved into an apartment downtown. I threw myself into work. I started seeing a therapist. And I tried not to think about the look on Gordon's face when he saw that video. People ask me if I regret it, if I wish I'd done things differently. Honestly, I don't know. I wanted her to feel the humiliation I felt. I wanted everyone to see who she really was, but I didn't want Gordon to almost die. Some nights I lie awake and wonder if revenge was worth it, if exposing the truth was worth the collateral damage. And then I remember the 8 months of lies, the deleted messages. The laughter I heard through the back door, and I think maybe it was, or maybe I'm just trying to convince myself of that. Either way, the truth is out. The marriage is over, and Veronica's family will never look at her the same way again. As for me, I'm still standing, and that's something.